Everybody, and welcome to the Sunshine State's only true sports talk radio show where we focus on the teams and the topics important to you, the sports fan in Florida. We are Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. I'm Bianchi, Mike Bianchi, sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel. He is Kravitz, Brandon Kravitz, the hardest working man in sports media, the prodigy of production, the hungover primetime Jaden Grimes is the executive producer today and every day, coming off his 21st birthday night. How you feeling, Primetime?
I'm feeling great. The legends don't get hungover.
He seems fine. I really can't tell the difference in him. His speed, his mood, the energy seems the same.
I got a headache, I'll tell you that.
All right. Well,
that's what happens when you mix your liquors, all right? You mix the colored liquor with the clear liquor. That's what happens, okay?
Yeah, it's all a bunch of baloney.
I remember I went out to dinner the day after my 21st birthday. It was like the family powwow dinner, and I was somewhere else physically and mentally for that one, but I was there.
My parents joined in on the family powwow. We all drank together.
Good for you. Good for you. All right, we are coming to you live from Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and all points in between on the iHeart Radio app and the YouTube machine. We want to hear from you throughout the course of the show. You can enter that rage cage. You know what that is. That's the little red talkback microphone at the top of the page on the iHeart app. Press that button, record a hot take, send it in to us, and maybe you'll win a prize. You can also text us on the Mills Air text line 50857. What are we giving away today, Krabs? We have another pair of Daytona 500 tickets to give away. Doesn't get any bigger than that. And that is thanks to our partners at Don Mealy Chevrolet. We appreciate the handout there, and we hope to hook somebody up. Gregory got the tickets yesterday for his phenomenal talkback that we aired at the end of the show. And we'll give you some detail on how you can win those. But anytime you interact with us, you've got a good chance at winning prizes. We also have a VIP package for Hammer and Nails, and there's some info on that on the Gameheads page on Facebook. If you become a member, you can see how you can win those. Absolutely. Let's get to some headlines and highlights. The ratings are in for Sunday's Super Bowl, and the game and Bad Bunny fell just a little bit short of setting records for most watched U.S. broadcast and halftime show. Seattle's boring 29-13 victory over New England averaged 124.9 million viewers, a monster number, no doubt, and still the most watched program in NBC history, but it still fell short of the 127.7 million U.S. viewers that tuned in for Philadelphia's 40-22 victory over Kansas City last year on Fox. However, Krabs, if you dig deeper into the numbers, the audience for Sunday's game peaked at 137.8 million viewers during the second quarter, which was a record for the second quarter and more than the second quarter of last year's game. So people were watching in record numbers, but when it was clear that the game was a dud, when there were no touchdowns scored in the first three quarters, and people just tuned out at that point. A lot of people just tuned out or went home from their Super Bowl parties.
I'm honestly amazed that the number was able to even hang with some numbers of the past, because this wasn't a Super Bowl that people were looking forward to as much as some Super Bowls in recent history. The game itself from the get-go was not entertaining for the average fan.
Right.
It wasn't entertaining to the hardcore fan. And then the halftime show was fraught with controversy. I picture Donald Trump out there somewhere going, I think they call him Bad Ratings Bunny now. But I'm honestly surprised the number was as high as it was.
Well, his ratings weren't bad. The halftime show averaged 128.2 million viewers. That's the fourth highest of all time behind Kendrick Lamar, Michael Jackson, and Usher. Those are your top three. Bad Bunny was fourth. I'm looking at the social media engagements, though. Total social media consumption of Bad Bunny's halftime show set a record of 4 billion views.
after the first 24 hours. 4 billion views. 55% of those came from international markets. So the NFL got their money's worth as far as globalizing the game. Did they not?
Yeah, they did, but I wonder if that number is just going to grow every year, almost irrelevant to who they have in the halftime show. Whoever they book is going to be a massive star. If it wasn't Bad Bunny, they would have gotten somebody else who was super famous. They're not going to book some local act. They're going to get somebody that most of the world is familiar with, that follows popular music. Social media the bubble has not burst yet on social media. There are more people creating more accounts every single year, and I would venture to guess that if you lined up the biggest, the most views, the most engagements for a Super Bowl halftime show every year for the last 10 years, the number's gotten a little bigger every year, and I think that has more to do with the social media landscape than any individual that's performing.
Maybe. Speaking of globalization, the NBA is being globalized as we speak. Victor Wembanyama scored 40 points last night in only 26 minutes in a 136-108 rout of the hated LA Lakers. And guess what? He wanted more. He wanted to stay in the game, but they wouldn't let him stay in the game. He hates the Lakers too. He wanted to put another 10 or 15 points on the Lakers. Here's some highlights from Wemby.
Wembanyama right wing threes. Wee-wee! 3 in a row from downtown for Victor Wembanyama. 17 first quarter points. Lobbed again, Castle. Wembanyama, two-hand jam. Steph Castle's got 5 first quarter assists. Victor Wembanyama's got 23 first quarter points. Another steal here for the Lakers. And Fox, oh my goodness, throws it off the backboard to Wembanyama, the two-hand slam. 59-32. Wembanyama spots Vassell, right wing, back to Harper. Left side, Wembanyama, pull up 3 on the way. Wee-wee! A 40 spot for Victor Wembanyama. His first points of the second half, and it is his 6th career 40-point game.
Only the 5th time in the shot clock era since 1954 that a player scored at least 40 points in 26 or fewer minutes. He also had 12 rebounds, so he joined Patrick Ewing as the only player in NBA history to record a 40-point double-double in that few minutes. Kravitz, you remember when Mike Ditka traded his entire draft class so he could take Ricky Williams?
Yes, I do.
How many NBA teams would trade their entire roster for Victor Wembanyama? Seriously.
Let me think about that for a second, because their answer might be all of them.
Except for the Thunder.
The Thunder would not. The Thunder would not trade their entire team.
The Celtics probably wouldn't if Tatum comes back healthy.
I don't know. Tatum, Jaylen Brown. I mean, they're getting a little long in the tooth. Tatum's coming off of a big injury. No,
maybe.
I could not be more all in on Victor Wembanyama if I tried. I think it's just OKC. I think that's it. Maybe the Nuggets wouldn't trade Jokic. But I mean, this guy is an absolute revelation. He is one of those players that is just undeniable in his greatness and his ceiling. I don't even think we know what it is. He is undoubtedly the new face of the league. He plays his tail off. He wants to be in there. He's great on both sides. He's so unique. We've never seen anybody like him. He's got a great personality. He kind of takes ownership of being a front-facing media guy, not like some of the other stars, like a Jokic that is kind of boring. He's kind of like funny on accident, but he wants no part of the spotlight. Victor Wembanyama is like, give me the spotlight, leave me in the game. I'm going to embarrass you, and I'll do it from all 3 levels. And the guy is an absolute superstar, and they will be winning championships very, very soon.
Florida State may be awful in football. They may be deep in debt in their athletic department, but have no fear, Seminole fans. Tiger's son is coming to town. Charlie Woods, Tiger's son, has committed, Kravitz, to play golf at Florida State University. All is right now in the world in Tallahassee.
That is right. This is going to start the snowball of momentum that digs them out of hundreds of $millions in debt. This is the beginning of the change. The winds of, can you hear that? It's the winds of change in Tallahassee.
The only reason they signed Charlie was so Tiger would start contributing to the athletic department. Hey, you wanna contribute to our NIL fund, Tiger?
I'm surprised they had money for Charlie. I imagine that didn't come cheap.
Charlie doesn't need NIL money, okay?
The AD's like, just put it on the credit card. It's bad enough already.
Hey, even if he's a great junior golfer, but even if he turns out to be a bust, just the publicity FSU will get for having him on the team is worth it, is it not?
Yeah, let's play a quick game. When's the last time you told me about a golf recruit in college on the show? I'll wait. That's all you need to know.
There's your highlights and headlines.
Shout out to, we got some new listeners out in Bradenton. Shout out to Woodbury and Berkman for checking us out on their drive. You can text in 50857 on the Mills Air text line and get involved as well. Up next, Scott Frost wasn't the first choice at Nebraska. We've got the T next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
Now is your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Money. That's money. M-O-N-E-Y. Enter it now at 969thegame.com and answer your phone if they call. Good luck.
All right, I know we have a lot going on right now, but there is nothing more important than the health and maintenance of your AC system, because that thing will go out at the worst possible time. Right in the middle, you're watching the game, you finally kick your feet up after a hard week of work, and boom, AC goes out. Kid's birthday, boom, AC goes out. Everybody's miserable. That's why I've got Mills Air on my speed dial. They've been good to me for years. They're honest. They explain what's going on. They don't try and sell you stuff that you don't absolutely need. I trust them, and I do not throw that word around lightly. Since 1992, they have grown to be one of Central Florida's largest and most well-respected companies anywhere. Tell them that Brandon Kravitz sent you by, and know that you'll get nothing but the best service. 407-277-1159 and online at millsair.com.
Hey, are you ready for a weekend getaway that's got something for everyone? Then pack your bags and head to Mission Resort and Club in beautiful Howey in the Hills, just a short drive from Orlando, right there next to Claremont. Mission Resort is renowned for its 2 stunning championship golf courses. El Campeon, the Champion, it was founded in 1917 and is one of the most storied courses in the Southeast. Book your tee times, and when you check in at the pro shop, tell them Bianchi sent you, and you'll get a free bucket of range balls. But there's more than just golf. I love to rent a boat at the marina and explore the largest chain of lakes in Florida. And when the day winds down, relax at the spa or one of their fabulous on-site restaurants, including the newly opened Conquistador, born from Mission Resort's Spanish-accented past, complete with handcrafted tile, cowhides, and vibrant greenery, framing a menu of shareable plates, wood-kissed main courses, citrus-bright seafood, and garden-to-glass cocktails. Book reservations for the restaurants, hotel, or golf tee times at missionresortandclub.com. Mission Resort and Club, your next great escape is closer than you think.
Orange County accident, I-4 eastbound at 535, blocking the right shoulder. Lots of company on I-4 westbound between the beach line and 535, and slow ride for you, I-4 eastbound between Osceola Parkway and 535. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Katie Wilkins.
This report is sponsored by iHeartAdvertising.com.
Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again, because people are listening to radio more today than they did 20 years ago. And only iHeartRadio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, even social. Learn how radio can help your business at iHeartAdvertising.com.
Orlando's signature event is back. The Arnold Palmer Invitational, presented by MasterCard, returns to Bay Hill March 2nd through 8th. Experience the new look Michelob Ultra Fan Deck, plus fan-favorite events like Throwback Thursday, presented by Corksicle, Wine and Dine on 9, presented by Briggs & Riley, the reimagined Birdies and Barbecue, and more. Don't miss the PGA Tour's best at Orlando's signature event, the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Get tickets today at arnoldpalmerinvitational.com.
Rollovers, head-on collisions, hit and runs, rideshare crashes, distracted driving accidents. You name it, we've litigated it. If you've been in a crash, make it a FARA fight. FARA and FARA.
Orlando. A family office is a team built to handle the three biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 407-204-0300. That's 407-204-0300.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
Guilty. Erroneous. Sustained.
Are you just saying random words?
Don't settle for just any insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
These days, you've got two choices: buying a new car or making the one you've got run like new. That's why we have thousands of ASE certified technicians to help you get more out of your car. Firestone Complete Auto Care. Book now at firestoneauto.com.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Win $25,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows. Pick up your phone and text the word TRUST right now to 20129. That's TRUST to 20129.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
This month, iHeartRadio is celebrating the stars of the 2026 Winter Games. Park City, Utah is home to Alex Hall, an artist on skis. The defending Olympic slopestyle champion is known for his unique style and creativity that judges love. Whether he's grinding rails or launching massive jumps with his signature Buick grab, Hall makes the impossible look easy. He drops into the course in Milano Cortina ready to defend his title and show the world the future of free skiing. For more Winter Games gold, search Olympics on the iHeartRadio app.
Want to access your favorite 96.9 The Game shows in an instant? Just make us your #1 preset in the iHeartRadio app.
I've been telling you guys about Kevin Krager with LPT Realty, one of the top 25 producing agents in Central Florida. My guy is money, and he joins me now to chat about the latest in real estate. What's the one piece of advice that you would give to first-time home buyers?
Interview agents and ask important questions. Ask what's important to that agent. Make sure that that agent is listening to you and understands what it is that you need when you're buying a house. There's hundreds of thousands of agents across this country, and a lot of people can buy and sell real estate, but to protect what you're doing, you need to make sure that that agent is really connecting with you, really listening to you, and has your best interest at heart. It's not just a paycheck for me. It's not just a paycheck for a lot of agents, but I want a long-lasting relationship. I'm going to give loyalty to you. And then I also would say, as a home buyer, giving loyalty back to that agent, because at some point you're going to want to sell that house.
Trust and loyalty. You can count on Kevin for that. He'll move you right along through the real estate buying and selling process. 407-702-4635.
Orlando's new home for Florida State football is AM 810 Fox Sports Radio Orlando. Hear every game live on AM 810. Or search Fox Sports Radio Orlando on the free iHeart Radio app. Now back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
So, former Nebraska athletic director Bill Moos, not Bullwinkle Moose, but Bill Moos, all right, has written a book, and it's released this week, and it's sort of his memoirs, all right? Bill Moose's memoirs, and in his memoirs is some interesting stuff about one Scott Frost, the head coach at UCF, former head coach at Nebraska. So, Scott Frost evidently was not Bill Moose's first choice to coach the Cornhuskers in 2017 when Scott Frost led UCF to the magical unbeaten season, the self-proclaimed national championship. Moose was widely hailed for hiring Scott Frost back then and acknowledged he wanted to hire Chip Kelly, not Scott Frost. Kelly had had great success at Oregon back in the early 2000s, but fizzled out as an NFL coach. He was out of coaching at the time in 2017 and was considering a return to college. Bill Moose had gotten to know him while he was at Oregon, so his first interview was Chip Kelly. Went to Chip Kelly's house in New Hampshire late in the 2017 season, and left the 4-hour meeting thinking that he was going to hire Kelly. He goes back to Nebraska, and the donors and boosters go, "To hell, you're going to hire Chip Kelly. You're going to hire Scott Frost. He's our guy. He's our favorite son. He helped lead us to a national championship." So Bill Moose writes when he suggested Chip Kelly to the donors, quote, "I was met with blank stares and a total lack of excitement when I expressed that to my superiors." Then he said, "I later learned that a veteran regent and generous donor to the university objected to the idea." All right. So he was charged with going to hire Scott Frost at that point. All right. So he describes his first meeting with Scott Frost. All right. Everybody remembers it. It was the night before UCF was going to play Temple up in Philadelphia. And I guess Bill Moose flew up there, and Scott Frost met Bill Moose in a hotel room. And Moose described Frost as, quote, like sweatpants, and unshaven. When he entered the room, Moose planned for a one-on-one meeting, but invited his wife, Kendra, to stay when it became apparent Frost's close friend, Matt Davidson, and his UCF chief of staff and high school teammate, Jared Lambert, would sit in. Kendra's assessment, Moose wrote, was that Frost was, quote, too immature. Moose agreed, but then wrote in his book, "If I don't pursue him with everything I've got and he ends up at Tennessee or Florida, I'm screwed." To which Kendra said, "Yeah, but if you bring Nebraska's golden boy home and he falls flat on his face, you are really screwed." End quote. So that was sort of what he wrote about Scott Frost. Of course, Scott Frost went to Nebraska. He flopped, and now he's back at UCF. I have a little bit of a theory here.
I would love to hear it. This is a fascinating story.
Yeah, it is. So, first of all, Bill Moose should have listened to his wife and not his boosters. All right. There's that, because Scott Frost was a miserable failure.
That's usually the case. Women are often right, as I've learned.
Yeah. Scott Frost was too immature for the Nebraska job. He was immature at the time. He had a lot of issues at Nebraska, but I think we all learn from our mistakes. The only real mistakes are the ones you don't learn from. Remember that, Krafts. The only real mistakes are the ones you don't learn from. So I think Scott Frost learned from that experience at Nebraska. But here's my theory. I don't think Scott Frost ever really wanted the Nebraska job. In fact, he said that, but he felt obligated to take it. Moose described Frost as coming in sweats and unshaven when he met with him. Do you think, Kravitz, maybe Frost was intentionally trying to make a bad impression so Moose wouldn't offer him the job? If he was offered the job, he knew he had to take it because his friends and family back home in Nebraska, they wanted him to take it. But if Moose offered the job to, say, Chip Kelly, then Scott Frost had his out. He intentionally tried to sabotage his own interview with Nebraska.
I think that there could be something to that. I think if not a full-blown sabotage, I think definitely the sort of tone of, I've been in interviews like this where I'm like, I'll do this interview. I really don't care if I get the job or not. And so but you'll take it, or you'll at least consider it. And so you have the conversation, but you don't put your best foot forward. You're not the best interview version of yourself because you don't actually care if you get the job. That doesn't mean you don't want it, but you can kind of live without it. And I think that's where Scott Frost was. So I'm not 100% where you're at. I think I'm like 75% to where you are. But this is such a sterling example. I mean, we can extrapolate this, and you could apply this to any walk of life when it comes to decision making, especially if you're the one making the call. Don't do what other people around you are, quote, forcing you to do. Nobody actually forced Bill Moose to hire Scott Frost. That was the perception and the pressure that he felt. That's his job and his call to make. Scott Frost felt like he had, you just said it, he had to take the job. No, he didn't.
Right.
He's his own man. He gets to pick up the phone and accept or deny offers when presented to him. You don't have to do anything.
His mom, his dad, his family, his friends, his former teammates.
All those people are important figures in your life. None of them are you. You make the call. You have autonomy over the decisions that you make, and you should take ownership of that. And you have two people on both sides that were making decisions for other people, not for themselves, and it's no wonder why it failed. There's your lesson in life. More Game On coming up right after this.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
You know, we see it all the time in sports. Teams do not go into the big game without a game plan. Likewise, in life, you shouldn't head into your retirement without a game plan either. When I met with Trajan Wealth, that's what I got, a game plan. I got straight talk, not a sales pitch. They looked at my entire financial picture and portfolio and helped me build a strategy that actually works. They are fiduciaries, so their advice is built around what's best for you, because the more money you make, the more money they make. I'm a client now because I saw the difference immediately. Markets go up, markets go down. The key is having a plan that can weather the turbulence, and that's exactly what Trajan Wealth gives you. Jeff Jr., I've told you about him. He's a Marine veteran who founded Trajan Wealth with that same code he learned in the Corps. Semper Fi, always faithful. Always faithful to protecting and growing your financial future. Call Trajan Wealth today at 407-204-0300 and tell him Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog, sent you. Or visit TrajanWealth.com to schedule your free consultation. That's TRAJAN Wealth.com. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, SEC Registered Investment Advisor, client, paid advertisement, additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Your freedom is everything, and the Trey Flynn Law Office is here to preserve it when the stakes are high. Trey is board certified at the state and federal level and is committed to winning and working for you. Trey is a trusted member of the Central Florida community. He's as polished and experienced a lawyer as you will find, and he's got all the stats to back it up. In sports, bad calls change games. In court, they change lives. Call Trey Flynn Law when you need a win in the clutch. 407-557-6350 or visit TreyFlynn.com.
Fix update.
Team USA is looking to add to its medal count in the women's short track speed skating 500 meters with Kristen Santos Griswold and Julie Latai competing. Santos Griswold says it took a lot of hard work to get to the Olympics.
Definitely days where I wake up and going to work out, I'm just everything hurts.
8 more medal events are on today's schedule, including ice dance with Americans Evan Bates and Madison Chock battling for gold.
For NBC's live coverage from Italy, search Olympics on the free iHeartRadio app.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Protect your home with factory direct impact windows from Reese Windows and Doors. At Reese, they've been installing affordable, high-quality windows for over 50 years, and most windows are installed in under 8 weeks. Get out your phone because now is your chance to win them for free. Just text the word TRUST to 20129 to win $25,000 in new windows from Reese Windows and Doors. Text TRUST to 20129 and good luck from Reese Windows and Doors.
Hey, it's the Bulldog, Mike Bianchi. Let's start February strong in a brand new Chevy from Don Mealy Chevrolet, your truck headquarters for 50 years. Right now, get 3.9% APR for 60 months on a 2026 Chevy Silverado or up to $5,000 in bonus cash. Looking for something the whole family will love? How about a 2026 Chevy Equinox with 3.9% APR for 60 months and no payments for 90 days? Visit Don Mealy Chevrolet today or shop anytime at DonMealyChevy.com. Chevy, together let's drive.
Not sure how to tackle your taxes? Are you sweating the small print? You may be experiencing FOMO, the fear of messing up. The answer? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it with a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. It's time to take your taxes to the max. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
It's time to bet, win, and connect in 2026. If you think you know the market better than your friends and peers, Better Edge is the place to profit off of that advantage. Better Edge is a social betting marketplace trusted by over 35,000 bettors, including me. Better Edge is where I first discovered that you can actually churn a profit betting on sports. With the best odds and prices anywhere in the market, it's a no-brainer for sharp sports bettors. Use the promo code BeatBrandon at sign-up for $20 upon your first arrival. It's betteredge.com or the Better Edge app.
If you're in a slip and fall accident, time is not on your side. Stores have video footage that's crucial evidence in your case. You've got to act quickly. Call Farah and Farah so we can preserve it before it disappears. Orlando.
Welcome to Embers Only on iHeartRadio Orlando, brought to you by Corona Cigar Company. Step inside the luxury cigar lifestyle with our cigar of the week. And man, not only is today's cigar a great deal, it is a wonderful smoke. We haven't featured one of these in a while. It's the Cielo Nemesis Torpedo. And if you haven't had a Cielo cigar before, try one. They're unbelievably good. Really rich, complex flavors without breaking the bank. This one, coffee brown Ecuadorian sun-grown wrapper, Nicaraguan blend of aged tobaccos inside, medium-bodied smoke, brimming with coffee, spice, and earth. Really good with coffee. Love this cigar, and this deal is incredible. Only $119.95 a box. It's 30% off. Usually, they're $170. Grab your box today. It's the Cielo Nemesis Torpedo, and it is your cigar of the week. Thanks so much for joining us for Embers Only. Luxury cigar lifestyle, fine spirits, and relaxation await at your nearest Corona Cigar. Downtown, Heathrow, Sand Lake, Sarasota, Tampa, and always online at coronacigar.com.
Time is valuable. That's why Lowe's Blueprint Takeoffs turn blueprints into quotes faster. Bring us your plans, and we'll generate itemized material lists to make quoting easier so you can get back to building. Plus, at the Lowe's Pro Desk, you get access to thousands of building materials not sold in store. And when your order's ready, we'll deliver everything to the job site. Improving is easy at Lowe's.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Magic president of basketball operations, Jeff Weltman, joins the show right now.
I understand the fans' frustrations. I'm frustrated with them. We have not been playing well, and it's been a while. And I understand, with that come expectations that they're going to change the team. They're going to do something significant. I can say we had some, like I said, some substantive talks. They didn't get across the finish line, but the answer to frustration isn't just to do a deal just for the sake of doing a deal and shaking it up, right? The answer to frustration is trying to improve the team. So we looked at a couple angles where we could do that, we thought, and those trades just didn't materialize, so we didn't do them. For us to do a big trade, it is going to require breaking up our core. It's going to involve one of our core players.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeart Radio app.
This report is sponsored by Bet Online.
Hey everybody, Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Laurel Blanchard here with your Wednesday evening forecast, keeping an eye on a mix of clouds and sun through the rest of the evening with partly cloudy skies through the overnight tonight. Temperatures bottoming out throughout the upper 50s across the region, and there will be some patchy fog as you're heading out the door tomorrow morning. Now, taking a look at your Thursday, temperature is going to be maxing out throughout the mid-70s with partly to mostly cloudy skies and the possibility of a quick sprinkle tomorrow afternoon. Copy and paste forecast as we take a look at your Friday.
Prediction markets talk outcomes. BetOnline puts odds behind them. For decades, bettors have trusted BetOnline for accurate lines, deep prop markets, and real action across every major market. Get the latest odds, live props, and in-game wagering throughout the year. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Miami Dolphins play here. Catch every game right here on 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the iHeart Radio app. Nick has a serious condition, an uncontrollable obsession with the NBA. League Pass is always on, the notebook is always full, and if you bring up a pick and roll, you might be here for a while. He's Nick Whalen from RotoWire.com.
Time to talk round ball with one of our favorites throughout the course of the week, Nick Whalen from RotoWire.com. You can catch him on the Fantasy Sports Channel via SiriusXM Radio. Also on VSiN now, 5 days a week with Jeff Erickson, another one of our favorite guests, from 2 to 3 p.m., I believe, over here on the East Coast. Nick, an ever-changing schedule for you, especially as football season comes to an end. Can you give me the quick recap of where you're at and when, and then I won't ask you again, I promise.
Fair enough, Brandon. Things are always changing for us at RotoWire. We are actually 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern now over on the VSiN network. So our show on SiriusXM Fantasy moving to 11 to 1, and then we go right into VSiN after that. So if for some reason you or anyone in your life is like, you know what, I want to listen to Nick Whalen talk sports for 3 straight hours, that is very attainable. You just got to listen to Fantasy Sports Radio in the morning and switch over to VSiN after that.
Wow, that's a quick turnaround. I'll be on with Nick coming up on February 17th on that VSiN show, so looking forward to that. 2 days before the All-Star break, teams are all out tanking. Players are getting acclimated to new teams. This has to be the weirdest portion of the NBA calendar, with teams and players that feel like they have 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah, I think typically you would default to like the last week or two of the season, when you really see some teams starting to pull back. But it does feel like it's happening earlier than ever and more blatantly than ever, to the point where I would not be surprised if the NBA addresses this in the offseason. We know tanking has been at the forefront for a long time. There's always this discussion of how do we fix it, and all these crazy ideas are thrown out there. But, realistically, Brandon, most seasons, you really only have like 3 or 4 teams trying to tank. And I think what makes it feel so much worse right now is, we're at about the 50-game mark, and I count at least 9 teams that have no interest in winning the rest of the way. And the problem here is that they are, in a roundabout way, incentivized to be doing exactly what they're doing. Like, who is to say that the Indiana Pacers, who are at the bottom of the Eastern Conference, they're 14-40, albeit after beating the Knicks in overtime last night, with a top 4 protected pick, there's no reason why the Indiana Pacers should be motivated to win games the rest of the way. So this has always been something that, non-NBA fans or the people that we would call casuals, Brandon, point to and say, nobody tries in the NBA. And usually I push back on that. Unfortunately, there's a pretty compelling argument for it right now, with basically a third of the league not trying to win the rest of the way.
What do you think the biggest threat to fixing tanking is? Because you brought up the pick protections. I think quietly that might be the answer, that if the NBA would do away with those, where if you're not top 4 because of a trade that you made, then you lose your pick. Well, no team's going to try and win when that's the case, especially if you have anything that resembles a decent draft class, which we have. Or is it something else? Is it still the lottery odds that incentivizes teams to have the worst record in order to have the best percentage? Or maybe it's something else that I'm not thinking of. What's the biggest threat to ever fixing this issue?
Yeah, I don't know that removing protections from picks would really have much of an impact. That's something that is a little bit more at the forefront this year because, Utah has their pick top 8 protected, Indiana top 4. But, it's not stopping the Sacramento Kings or the Memphis Grizzlies or the Milwaukee Bucks or the Brooklyn Nets from doing what they're doing. Honestly, I think what it is teams have just gotten too smart, right? I think it's tantamount in some ways to, those who would say that the NBA has become homogenous, and a lot of nights it just feels like, all right, whoever hits the most threes is going to win because teams have kind of solved how to play offense at the NBA level. And I think teams have kind of solved how to team build. Now, it doesn't always work, of course. If you're the Wizards, you've been terrible for 3 or 4 years in a row. The lottery hasn't broken your way. But again, you have to play the odds, right? Over the course of a 4 or 5 lotteries, you would expect that you're going to win one of those, or you're going to get multiple top 2, top 3 picks. So I think teams are looking at this from an analytical perspective and saying, why would we want to be the Chicago Bulls? Why would we want to barely sneak our way into the play-in, maybe get crushed in round 1? Yeah, you get a couple games worth of playoff gate revenue, but then ultimately, we're getting the 15th pick in the draft every year. And, how are we going to build our team that way? So I think teams are kind of doing what they're incentivized to do under the current rules.
Nick, we saw Victor Wembanyama last night, obviously just do the things he does, 40 points in only 26 minutes, also had 12 rebounds. Just unbelievable. I was kidding with Kravitz earlier, and actually I don't even know that I was kidding. I said there's probably half the league that would trade their entire roster for Victor Wembanyama. How many teams do you think would actually do that?
This is not something I thought about. I would say probably at least 10 teams. I mean, all of those tanking teams.
10
that we
Nick,
mentioned.
I was at like 29.
Yeah, I don't know. We got to be realistic here, right? It's like you still got to put a team around Victor Wembanyama, but the nice thing about that is with the salary cap structure in the NBA, it's like Victor Wembanyama, much like LeBron before him, he's not making as much as he's worth, right? So like if in theory you are just starting a team with Victor Wembanyama on a max contract, like you could still fill out that roster.
Right.
That's a good question. Yeah, it's probably more than 10. It's probably closer to 15 or 20.
Also, going into the All-Star break, we're trying to be optimistic here in Orlando. Franz Wagner's back. The roster is completely healthy for the first time since opening night of last year. Is there any chance the Magic can make a run at the East, do you think?
I wouldn't completely rule it out. It's been a pretty disastrous first 2/3 of the season, all things considered, I think, relative to expectations. But it's not like the Magic are in 13th place in the Eastern Conference, right? Like, I think we've maybe made a little bit more out of it just because, Paolo Banchero hasn't taken that step forward that we thought he would, and the injuries have been front and center. But, they have a really good chance to pick up another win tonight against this terrible Milwaukee Bucks team heading into the break. You get the Sacramento Kings coming out. Schedule should be fairly doable the rest of the way. And there's not a major gap between Orlando and that next tier in the Eastern Conference. They're only 4 games out of the 4 seed right now, which is the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think they could very easily pass Philly. They could very easily pass Toronto and at least get out of the play-in zone. I've definitely adjusted my expectations. I know the injuries have been a big part of it, but you would have liked to see a little bit more compensation, I guess, for Orlando throughout those injuries. We've seen other teams be able to survive it and not just have letdown after letdown like it feels like Orlando has without Franz Wagner. And, a lot of this just comes down to, do you believe Paolo Banchero can go to another level in the postseason, much like he did last year? And do you think he can do that for 3 or 4 rounds in a row? That becomes a little bit too much of a stretch for me.
Also, real quick, did the Milwaukee Bucks make the right decision by not trading Giannis? And what do you think they're going to do with him? Are they going to trade him in the summer?
Man. So I've been of the belief as a Milwaukee Bucks fan that they should have just ripped the Band-Aid off. I think Giannis has said all the right things. It's very cool objectively to see a superstar, who very much looked like he was going to leave, like so many stars before him, kind of re-entrench himself with the organization. But the needle that the Bucks are going to have to thread to make this a competitive team, let alone a championship caliber team in the coming years, I think is going to be really difficult. I don't doubt that the Bucks will do everything they can to try to rebuild this thing around him. The books open up a little bit for them after this season, but you need to basically completely retool this entire roster. I mean, if you look at the Bucks roster right now, how many guys would you say, all right, I for sure want him on the roster next season and beyond? For me, it's Ryan Rollins, maybe AJ Green, and that's probably it. You have this albatross of a Miles Turner contract that you either have to pay to get off or you have to figure out a way to get more out of him, which I don't think is doable. So my guess is that Giannis will give them the opportunity to do that. I think they will explore what should be better trade offers in the summer, but I think the Bucks are dug in, guys. Their number one goal has been keep Giannis, because I think they are afraid of their franchise value completely collapsing, going back to the dark ages of Brandon Knight and Jabari Parker. Like, the Bucks will do everything they can to avoid that. So until the day comes where Giannis says, you guys have to trade me, I don't think Milwaukee is going to be the side that makes that move.
I don't want it to be slept on, the AJ Green mention right there, not the one that used to play for the Bengals. After watching this guy at the arena on Monday night, I think I would sell a kidney to get AJ Green on the Orlando Magic. They need his three-point shooting so bad. Last thing for you, Nick, before we cut you loose, most important question of all. Who is winning the slam dunk competition on Saturday night?
Oh, God.
Let me Google who's in the slam dunk contest quickly. So, well, we got a star-studded field, guys. We got Carter Bryant, we got Jackson Hayes, we have somebody named Kashad Johnson, who plays for the Heat.
Save the best for last, Nick. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well, does Jace Richardson even want to be in this? Like, his reaction on Twitter was like, "Oh, I guess I'm in the dunk contest." So I think we may have hit a new low in terms of lack of star power here. I'm going to go with Carter Bryant. From the Spurs. Jackson Hayes, obviously we've seen what he's capable of doing. He did throw down a between the legs dunk in game last week, which I'm a big fan of. However, there's not a long history of big men succeeding in the dunk contest, especially guys who are north of 7 feet. So I will pretty much blindly take Carter Bryant from the Spurs.
That was a much better breakdown than most people would give you on the dunk contest right there, which is why we love bringing you on, Nick. And we had Jace Richardson on the show yesterday, by the way, and he said when he got the call from his agent that the NBA wanted him in the dunk contest, he said, why?
So I think it's because they want him to put on his dad's jersey. Like he's like, what are the odds that he does a between the legs dunk in the old, orange and navy Warriors jersey? Like that has to happen. Definitely
going to happen, no doubt. Nick Whalen, rotowire.com. You can find him there, SiriusXM, and on VSiN. Thanks so much for the time. Enjoy All-Star Weekend.
Hey, same to you guys.
Up next, your texts, your talkbacks. We get it going. We want your involvement right here on Game On. 50857 is how you can reach us. More of this great show on the way after the break.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
Great teams don't wait until something breaks to make adjustments. They look ahead. They study film. They practice fundamentals, and they stay ahead of problems. Your air conditioning system deserves the same attention, especially in Florida's demanding climate. That's why I rely on Ziegler Air Conditioning's maintenance program. They've been serving Central Florida not for 10, not for 20, not for 30, but 40 years. And understand that prevention saves homeowners money and frustration. They service my unit twice a year, keeping it efficient and reliable. They check the system thoroughly. They take things apart. They lubricate the parts. They explain what they're seeing so nothing comes as a surprise. They were just at my place a few weeks ago and shared helpful tips most companies never even mention. That kind of advice shows they care about long-term system health, not just today's invoice. It's education. It's not upselling. And if something ever goes wrong, I know Ziegler Air answers the phone and responds quickly, even on busy holiday weekends. So give them a call at 407-245-8765. That's 407-245-8765. Ziegler Air Conditioning. Don't ever lose your cool.
The City Beautiful now has a new team that we can all rally behind. The MLV champs, the Orlando Valkyries. Fast, loud, flying above the net, nonstop entertainment. Professional women's volleyball is one of the best live sports out there, and we've got a game head section that you can be a part of. Just email me, Kravitz at 969thegame.com. Bring your friends, bring the family, bring the noise, and head coach Amy Pauley will bring the dubs. It's the Valkyries, Orlando's pro volleyball team, right here in our backyard.
Heavy delays this afternoon, I-4 westbound between the Beach Line and 535. Tapping the brakes. I-4 westbound as well between 192 and 429. An accident reported I-4 westbound before Cayley Street. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Katie Wilkins.
This report is sponsored by eBay.
So I was on eBay because I'm absolutely obsessed
with this rare hologram trading card. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. eBay had it. They even had the
perfect parts that fit my car.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay.
At Crush Yard, pickleball is just the beginning. You'll find a full restaurant and bar, arcade games, and plenty of space to hang out with friends. What starts as a few games often turns into food, drinks, and losing track of time. Play a match, grab a bite, catch up, or stay a while. Whether you're competitive, casual, or just along for the fun, there's something here for everyone. Learn more at crushyard.com.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Protect your home with factory direct impact windows from Reese Windows and Doors. At Reese, they've been installing affordable high-quality windows for over 50 years, and most windows are installed in under 8 weeks. Get out your phone because now is your chance to win them for free. Just text the word TRUST to 20129 to win $25,000 in new windows from Reese Windows and Doors. Text TRUST to 20129 and good luck from Reese Windows and Doors.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Get it? With the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Outside of those deep, dark, hot summer months, I don't think I've ever appreciated my AC unit and how well it functions more than right now, and I have Mills Air to thank. I've been using Mills Air for over 6 years now. They've always been dependable. They've always been prompt and price efficient as well. We're talking about the top professionals in the game. Call Leon and the crew, schedule your appointment, and tell them that Brandon Kravitz from Game On sent you by. 407-277-1159 and online at millsair.com. Be sure to tune in the day after the game for the Tools Ace Hardware Assist of the Night, brought to you by me, Brandon Kravitz. And if you're gearing up for game day, Tools Ace is your MVP for grilling greatness. From Big Green Egg to Traeger, they've got everything you need to fire up the flavor with 14 Central Florida locations, including their brand new store in downtown Windermere. Tools Ace is your neighborhood home maintenance expert, the helpful place every night, and your best stop before the game. Visit toolsacehardware.com.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth, LLC, a SEC-registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
These days, you've got two choices, buying a new car or making the one you've got run like new. That's why we have thousands of ASE certified technicians to help you get more out of your car. Firestone Complete Auto Care. Book now at firestoneauto.com.
Run a business and not thinking about podcasting? Think again. More Americans listen to podcasts than ad-supported streaming music from Spotify and Pandora. And as the #1 podcaster, iHeart's twice as large as the next two combined. Learn how podcasting can help your business at iHeartAdvertising.com.
Follow The Game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Sports lives on the iHeart Radio app, the official audio home of NBC's coverage of the Milan Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics. Fox Sports Radio, ESPN, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, and iHeart is the home of the NFL Podcast Network. Just search sports on the free iHeart Radio app and listen now.
And the winner of the iHeart Podcast Award is... You can decide who takes home the 2026 iHeart Podcast Awards Podcast of the Year by voting at iHeartPodcastAwards.com now through February 22nd. See all the nominees and place your vote at iHeartPodcastAwards.com.
Audible is a proud sponsor of the Audible Audio Pioneer Award. Explore the best selection of audiobooks, podcasts, and originals all in one easy app. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
This February 14th, you can make a real difference in the lives of more than 80,000 Special Olympics Florida athletes. Happening at Aquatica Orlando. It's the annual Polar Plunge. By raising funds and taking the plunge, you help provide year-round training and support for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Whether you participate on your own, create a team, or involve your school, your commitment empowers athletes to achieve their dreams. Be bold. Get cold. Help build a more inclusive Florida. Learn how you can donate, register, or get your school involved at SOFLPolarPlunge.com.
WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2, Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. Now back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Shout out to the Orlando Valkyries. Great product that you can go and support. Family-friendly pricing as well. Scoop up some tickets. And if you want in on the Gamehead section for the next home match, February 22nd, Sunday at 4 p.m., you can go to provolleyball.com or you can email me, Kravitz at 969thegame.com, and I might just take care of you.
I was talking to the mayor today, not that I'm dropping names or anything, but I was talking to the mayor today, Buddy Dyer, and I'm working on a big story for the Sentinel on the past, present, and future of Orlando sports. And we were just talking about all the sports in Orlando now compared to when Buddy Dyer was growing up as a kid. And he goes, you know what? I haven't gone and seen the Valkyries yet, but I really want to go. I plan on going to see the Valkyries. So,
Buddy, come on!
The mayor is on board.
I know he's busy doing mayoral things, but he's got to go out there. It's a ton of fun. I'm disappointed I haven't been able to go to a game yet this season, but they keep playing when the Magic are playing. And I've got commitments, but we'll definitely be making my way over there soon. Glad to hear that the mayor's involved. Maybe the mayor and I could get a box together.
I like it.
Well, big
Can I come?
Sure. Yeah, Jaden, you're invited as well. Or maybe we just all sit in the Gamehead section. I'm sure that he listens to the show. Text in 50857. Somebody said, I love these revisionist history accounts. If I would have just done what I wanted to, everything would have worked out great. I didn't make a mistake. I was pressured into that decision. That's exactly my point off the text line. This is why
referring to Bill Moose, the athletic director at Nebraska,
and Scott Frost, the head coach, formerly of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, who felt like he just had to make that decision. You don't have to do anything.
He did have to.
No,
They both had to make those decisions. I
will die on that hill. No, they did not have to make that decision.
First of all, Bill Moose has bosses. The president of the university, it's his decision. It's not Bill Moose's. Bill Moose comes with the recommendation. The president makes the decision.
Well, I have a decision that I'm going to make, and that's what we're going to step aside for Fox Sports Radio. Let them get you caught up in the latest. going on in sports back in 60.
Local, in your face, and bald. Very bald. Let's send you to the studio for the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Welcome back to the show. Game On, right here on FM 96.9, The Game in Orlando, AM 930 in Jacksonville, FM 96.5, The Spear in Tallahassee. We appreciate you making us a part of your afternoon drive. I'm Brandon Kravitz. He's Mike Bianchi, and the guy that you're not hearing from right now that's making us sound good is the prodigy of production, Jaden Grimes. We have...
Can you
what?
Can you see me shaking my boobies in the...
Your what?
Shaking my boobies.
Sort of. You kind of look like that from my view of the stream. You look. This looks like footage of a moon landing. More.
What do you mean?
More
I've
than
never
a podcast.
been so happy I'm not on the stream today. Let me
I
tell you.
did see him shake. He's been frozen for the last hour, but it unfroze the second he started shaking his chest. I don't think it's you though. I think the internet in the building is lagging today because my phone was giving me fits too. So I actually think Spectrum is off the hook as far as this internet issue because you sound great. I just can't see you all that good.
Luckily, my boobies aren't as big as Mario Cristobal's.
Well, it's yeah. I heard Mario's setting up an OnlyFans account. That's how that's.
Yeah, we got to get our NIL somehow.
Right, exactly. Yeah, get that money. No judge. This is a no judgment zone. Text in 50857 on the Mills Air text line. You can also hit us up in the Rage Cage. We have a pair of Daytona 500 tickets to give away today, and we're going to give you some intel on how you can win that coming up in a moment. Real quick on the text line, some feedback that we've gotten to this point in the show. Somebody said earlier that the numbers are way off, talking about Super Bowl ratings. Bianchi rattled off the numbers in the open of the show. He says, completely made up ratings. It is impossible to track the exact amount of viewers. It's an estimate because they inflate one stream and make it worth more viewers. So here's the thing. That's always been the case. Right. Ratings have never been an exact number. It is a guess. It's always been a guess. This is not new. This is not because of streaming. It's Nielsen has never gone door to door and said, "You watching? You watching?"
Yeah, but they do
now.
They do have better ways of tracking it now with streaming and computerized stuff and things. I don't understand it, but I mean, come on. It's fake news, these numbers, these ratings.
I call him bad. He's a bad ratings bunny. This is a bad ratings bunny. Not a good
now
one.
The TV ratings are fake news now. Okay, everything's fake news.
Somebody said
we don't understand it. It's fake news.
Why exactly? This is why I thought it was important to read the coach quote yesterday, which was that illiteracy in the 21st century is those that will not unlearn and relearn. I think that is an important note. For not to say that you, sir, texting in are illiterate, but there are some thoughts within your thoughts that make me think that it is at least possible. We appreciate you chiming in on the show today. Somebody said, why don't guys commit hard fouls on Victor Wembanyama, Bill Laimbeer style, I think the NBA would have those players removed instantaneously. This guy is a cash cow.
Yes. They would have anybody who tried to hurt Victor Wembanyama removed faster than like if the guy was fixing games by gambling on him.
Yeah, this would be like if it was like Jalen Duren or someone like that, they'd have him removed like he was a streaker. Tackled by security. Get out of here! Somebody said, I disagree with you guys about the Super Bowl being a dud. I loved the game from start to finish. Well, congratulations, my friend. You're the only one. I haven't heard one person until this text message that said, wow, what a game that was. Great Super Bowl.
Why would you love that? I mean, why would you? The Patriots punted 8 times in the first half. There were no touchdowns scored in the first 3 quarters of the game. How could you love that? Unless you just like good old SEC style slobber knocking football. Maybe that's what it is.
I like I don't mind a low scoring game. I like some defense, but even just the ability to move the ball down the field was. And it was so lopsided too. If the game is close and low scoring, it's one thing. This got away from New England very quickly, and they did not enjoy it all that much. Let's get to our daily coach quote.
This is Jamal Mosley, head coach of the Orlando Magic, and this is your daily coach quote of the day.
Our daily source of inspiration and motivation, and today's, Mike, is about fear. Courage does not come from being right, but from not fearing to be wrong. That was a quote that I read when I was in middle school, and I used to go grab the Reader's Digest, and they had quotables. They had a quote page, and that was one that always stuck with me, even to today, and I apply it to my betting analysis. Courage does not come from being right, but from not fearing to be wrong. Make a decision, stick with it, say it with your chest, and let the chips fall where they may.
I used to love Reader's Digest. Oh, I miss Reader's Digest.
I do too. That was great dentist, doctor's office reading material. They don't make them like they used to. But the reason why I wanted to do a quote today about fear is because we've been sitting on this text question for days now, and we're going to unleash it right here, right now. You can make this NASCAR related. You can also make this related to one of the biggest stories that popped off in the last couple of weeks. So driving around in one of those aerodynamic tubes that these NASCAR drivers drive in is absolutely terrifying. That is a death-defying feat. You also have the story recently of a guy scaling a building in Taiwan live on Netflix. So my question to all of you is, what is the most daring thing that you've ever done? 50857, or you can hit us up in the Rage Cage. Mike, do you have one that you've been thinking about? I have a story that I would like to share as well. So if you need a moment, I can get going on mine.
You go ahead. I need to think about this. I'm not a very daring guy, but go ahead.
So many years ago, I went on a vacation to the white sands of Jamaica with some friends, and these were my college days. This was a reckless time in my life, and I hope
you're not going to say I went parasailing.
No. I went to this restaurant, and it was called Rick's Cafe. Maybe some of you that have been to Jamaica have heard of it. It's a very famous cafe, very busy, hustle bustle. It's in Negril. It's I think it's the biggest city in Jamaica. And they have an area next to where all the tables are where you can sit and eat your lunch and dinner, where you can jump off of a cliff into the water. And my friends and I decided that we were going to go do this. And it was terrifying. It's the biggest jump I've ever made in my life and still is to this day. I remember vividly, if you could slow down, if there was footage and you could slow it down, me after jumping, I couldn't even think about it. I had to go first. When they said go, I just went. Because if I thought about it for any longer than 2 seconds, I was going to chicken out. So I just jumped. And I remember being in the air so long, I thought, maybe there's an invisible ladder I'm not aware of that I could grab onto, and I start climbing like air, thinking that I'm going to pull myself back up to the top of this cliff, and then smack. I smacked my face on the water, bloody nose. I was filled with adrenaline. It was great.
You went in face first instead of feet first?
No, I panicked so much midair that I wound up sort of belly flopping.
Oh my god!
I went feet first, but I kind of freaked out halfway, and then my body. I'm not the most athletic person on the planet.
What?
Well, no, here's the thing. This is the icing on the cake. So I'm thinking this must have been 20 years ago, and I've been telling this story ever since because it's the most.
Were you drinking?
There were a few drinks involved. Okay. I wasn't drunk, but there were drinks definitely. I mean, I was in Jamaica. But I've been telling this story for years, and I always say that I jumped from hundreds, or at least 100 feet.
What was it, like 20?
So I went online because I knew that we were going to talk about this, and I thought, let me get the number right so that I'm not spewing inaccuracies. And I Googled Rick's Cafe jump, and it pops right up because it's a big tourist attraction. It's 30 feet. It was 30.
I jumped off of a high dive. I jumped off of a high dive platform at the pool.
I hit refresh. I go, wait, let me get my glasses. It's at 30 feet. 30 feet.
I think high dive platforms at pools are higher than that. Okay.
I think it made it seem scarier because it was a cliff and there were rocks around it.
You thought it was going to be a rocky bottom? Oh my god! What you panicked from 30 feet up? God, I land on your face.
I'm really empathetic. All right, Jaden's got the takes. We've got the grades on the way next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
Now is your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bank. That's bank. B-A-N-K. Enter it now at 969thegame.com and answer your phone if they call. Good luck.
It's the Bulldog, Mike Bianchi. We saw it in the big game on Sunday. Defense truly does win championships. Well, guess what? When it comes to protecting your home, Renewal by Anderson's Acclaim Impact Windows are the strongest defense in the game. Renewal knows in Florida, the heat plays offense all year long. The humidity never takes a day off, and those thunderstorms and hurricanes come at you like a fourth quarter blitz. That's why you need windows built to take the hit. Renewal by Anderson's Acclaim Impact Windows are made with exclusive Fibrex material that's twice as strong as vinyl, designed to handle high winds, flying debris, and relentless sun. They don't crack, fade, or warp even after years under Florida's intense pressure. And here's your game-winning deal. During Renewal by Anderson's free window February, buy 4 replacement windows or doors, get the 5th free, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 12 months. Offer ends February 28th. So whether you're in Central Florida, the Gulf Coast, or in Jacksonville, visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. License number CGC 1527613. Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets quality.
When it comes to buying or selling a home, you need more than just a sign in the yard. You need a pro who knows the market, knows the process, and knows how to fight for you. That's why I trust Kevin Krager with LPT Realty. Kevin doesn't just unlock doors. He brings a deep knowledge of market trends, the latest home buyer programs, cutting-edge real estate technology. But what truly sets him apart, it's Kevin's strong background in construction. He knows what to look for so that you don't end up in a money pit. Owning a home should be an asset, but it only is if you know what you're doing and if you have somebody on your side that can help you with the process. From foundation to roof line, he's focused on protecting your investment every step of the way, and even after closing, his service doesn't stop there. Kevin has the resources to help with repairs or upgrades that you may want, all at cost to his wonderful clients. So if you want more than just an agent, if you want a trusted guide who knows homes inside and out, Call Kevin Krager with LPT Realty today. Your future home will thank you.
Stop and go traffic on I-4 westbound between the Beach Line and 535. Lots of company as well. Florida's Turnpike southbound between 417 and Osceola Parkway. And you have lots of company on I-4 eastbound between 46 and 1792. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Katie Wilkins.
This report is sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
How do we respond to lowball offers from insurance companies?
With relentless litigation. For the justice you're entitled to after an accident, you know who to call.
Make it a FARA fight. Fair and FARA.
Orlando.
These days, you've got two choices, buying a new car or making the one you've got run like new. We know which one we'd choose. That's why at Firestone Complete Auto Care, we have thousands of ASE certified technicians nationwide trained to spot an issue with your car before it becomes a problem, no matter the make or model. Get more out of your car. Firestone Complete Auto Care. Call or go online at firestoneauto.com to book today.
Welcome to Embers Only on iHeart Radio Orlando, brought to you by Corona Cigar Company. Step inside the luxury cigar lifestyle with our cigar of the week. And man, not only is today's cigar a great deal, it is a wonderful smoke. We haven't featured one of these in a while. It's the Cielo Nemesis Torpedo. And if you haven't had a Cielo cigar before, try one. They're unbelievably good. Really rich, complex flavors without breaking the bank. This one, coffee brown Ecuadorian sun-grown wrapper, Nicaraguan blend of aged tobaccos inside, medium-bodied smoke, brimming with like coffee, spice, and earth. Really good with coffee. Love this cigar, and this deal is incredible. Only $119.95 a box. That's 30% off. Usually, they're $170. Grab your box today. It's the Cielo Nemesis Torpedo, and it is your cigar of the week. Thanks so much for joining us for Embers Only. Luxury cigar lifestyle, fine spirits, and relaxation await at your nearest Corona Cigar. Downtown, Heathrow, Sand Lake, Sarasota, Tampa, and always online at coronacigar.com.
This message is for all you couples out there, because when one of you isn't feeling great, energy, performance, or confidence, it affects both of you. At Florida Center for Hormones and Wellness, they've got treatments that help both men and women reconnect. For the guys, there's shockwave therapy and the P-Shot, natural, non-surgical ways to boost performance and blood flow in the bedroom. For women, they offer shockwave therapy and Emcella, therapies that improve comfort, sensitivity, and pelvic strength post-menopause. It's all medical, all natural, and it really works. Dr. John Carrizzella and his team know this isn't just about physical performance. It's about restoring confidence and connection. If you and your partner want to feel like your best selves again, together, start here. Go to hormonesandwellness.com/bulldog and tell them Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog, sent you. That's hormonesandwellness.com/bulldog.
If you want your windows there and Reese, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Protect your home with factory direct impact windows from Reese Windows and Doors. At Reese, they've been installing affordable, high-quality windows for over 50 years, and most windows are installed in under 8 weeks. Get out your phone, because now is your chance to win them for free. Just text the word TRUST to 20129 to win $25,000 in new windows from Reese Windows and Doors. Text TRUST to 20129 and good luck from Reese Windows and Doors.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
This month, iHeartRadio is celebrating the stars of the 2026 Winter Games. Scottsdale, Arizona produced Austin Matthews, who headlines a star-studded roster as NHL players return to the Olympics. One of the most lethal goal scorers in the world, Matthews brings his elite wrist shot and MVP pedigree to Team USA. For the first time in a decade, the world's best pros are facing off for national glory, and Matthews looks to lead the Americans to a miracle finish in Italy. For more Winter Games gold, search Olympics on the iHeartRadio app.
This is boot camp. This is the real thing now. You've never done anything so hard in your life. You don't understand how you can finish. It takes inner strength and desire to become a Marine. When I finished, I was like, I did it. The moment I will never forget is when this drill instructor that I admired so much comes up to me and said, "Good morning, Marine."
PFC Summer Volkman became a Marine. Can you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Your home for conservative news talk is News Radio WFLA Orlando. Looking for unbiased views, the latest traffic and weather updates? Look no further. We've got you covered. Tune in to 93.1 FM, 94.1 FM, and don't forget, we're always on the iHeart Radio app. Follow WFLA for the latest updates.
It's the news source I listen to most.
UCF Knights play here. Catch every game right here on 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the iHeart Radio app. Bianchi and Kravitz better grab their pen and paper because they're headed to school. It's time to grade the tape.
All right, folks, you know what to do. Get out your ruler, get out your number 2 pencil, your Scantron, and your abacus. It's time to go to school. Bianchi and I are the professors. Well, I'm a professor. Bianchi is Professor Emeritus.
That's right. I'm the final word on the grades, okay?
And Jaden is the student who will be delivering his presentation. Jaden? Prodigy, take it away. 21-year-old.
That's right. Say it with pride.
What'd you order last night at dinner?
My very first drink was a Captain and Coke, and he threw a lime on it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was pretty solid. I had spaghetti last night, too. Italian.
You'll never forget the first drink you order without having to fake it. With the artificial
I
ID.
forgot mine.
And then the first beer I bought was a Budweiser.
You know what else he had? You know what else he had, Kravitz?
What do you have?
He had a whiskey sour.
Yeah, dude, the bartender said I need to grow hair on my chest, and he gave me a whiskey sour. All right, anyways. If Nebraska hired Chip Kelly instead of Scott Frost, it still would have been a major disaster. The whole situation was lose-lose.
I think that's a C. I don't know why it would be any better or any worse. So I mean, I guess that it's accurate, but I need a little heat. That one doesn't have a lot of sizzle to it, so that's a C. I'm in the middle of the road.
That's an A+ as far as accuracy, but yeah, as far as heat, yeah, that's a D. So the emeritus, what did you give him, a C?
Gave him a C.
I'll give him a C+. The fact is, Chip Kelly, he flopped in the NFL at the time. And he went to UCLA after that and flopped there. So why would Chip Kelly have been a better hire than Scott Frost? I don't think he would have been.
Yeah, and Bill Moose is making it sound like this is what would have saved my job. And like, nah, probably not.
As an Eagles fan, I can promise you, Chip Kelly does not save anything. Everyone in Orlando is very happy Franz Wagner is back, but Franz Wagner is more committed to Euro basketball than he's committed to Magic basketball.
Oh my goodness! Woo! I was asking for sizzle. That's sizzle. So while I might not agree with the take, and I certainly don't like it, it is an A take. I wonder, can you elaborate on why you think?
Well, he played
Franz. Why he's more committed to Euro?
All summer, he played in Germany for the Germany Euro team, and then he got hurt. He was gone for 16 games. The Magic are going overseas to Europe. He forces himself to come back so he can play overseas, and then he misses another 9 games. It's just
It is a little bit soccer star-like. Like, I'm going to go all out to play for my country, even if it costs me. Yeah, that's a great.
More not piss excellent.
That's an A+ take. Do I agree? I think there might be a little bit of truth to that. No question.
Just enough to make it not a ridiculous take, but it definitely had some spunk to it.
And the Magic, they're culpable as well. They're so careful about bringing their players back, and they just said, "Oh, we're in Germany. This will be good for international publicity." Boom, let him play. Mistake.
The Seattle Seahawks defense was amazing. Their nickname is now the Dark Side. When we look back at this defense, we'll say the Dark Side defense is better than the Legion of Boom.
I'm gonna give that a C+. It has some teeth to it, but here's the problem with the Dark Side being remembered as fondly as the Legion of Boom. They had to name themselves that. The Legion of Boom was named. Whenever someone else gives you a nickname, it sticks. If you have to give it to yourself and promote it, it's not a real nickname. So we like defensive nicknames, so people kind of went with it, and it looks good on a social media graphic, but no, it will not be. We'll forget in 2 years that it was even called that.
What'd you give that a C?
I give it a C+.
Professor Emeritus gives that a B+. I think it's a fairly hot take because the Legion of Boom is an immortal defense, and I don't think people are going to forget the Dark Side. This was one of the most. I don't remember the Legion of Boom dominating an offense like the Dark Side did in this Super Bowl because this game was pure.
Sorry, what did you just say? What did you just say? They dominated the Peyton Manning broke the record for touchdown passes in a season, and they made him look like a rag doll in the Super Bowl. What are you talking about?
What was the score of that game?
It was like 43-8. It was an embarrassment. If it wasn't that, it was damn close. No, that's an
B+ in it.
That's an F take, Bianchi.
Never correct the Professor Emeritus. All right, I'm above correction. B+ take, Jaden Grimes.
Yeah, you heard him. All right. In 20 years, the greatest of all time conversation will be put to rest. No one will talk about Michael Jordan or LeBron James. Everyone will say it's Victor Wembanyama.
How many years?
20.
A+ is no. Go ahead, Professor.
That is studious. I do think that's a B+ take. I do. As much as we want to say that this is something that is so outlandish that it's almost too hot. That how often do we talk about the players from the 60s and the 70s, guys like Julius Erving and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? We forget because of folks like me that didn't watch them play, and then you obsess over the players that you watch dominate the league when you were in your viewing prime. And Victor Wembanyama, I think, could go down as the most talented player in NBA history because of his total body of skill. So that's a B+. It's a solid B+ take.
The Emeritus is going to overrule that. You're on the right track, but I'm giving that an A+.
I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellent.
Yeah, if he stays healthy, he might go down as the greatest of all time.
That is Grade the Take for this week. Some heaters out there from the Prodigy. You're getting pretty good at this. That's why we call you the Prodigy. Doesn't happen overnight, but you can see it coming from a mile away. Jamie Watson, Apple TV analyst, former Orlando City player, hops into the show to talk about what's next. That's soccer after this.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
I know what you're thinking. Football season is over and you feel a little dead inside, and I get it, believe me. But like the song says, I will survive. We will survive. And you know how? Little water, little food, little air, and Hard Rock Bet. Because Hard Rock Bet over there, there's always something to bet on every single night. Hoops, hockey, racing, even table tennis, and so much more. New signups can double their winnings on their first 10 bets, a max of $50. That's right, your winnings are doubled on your first 10 wagers. That is how you build a winning bankroll. I am loaded up on the Wednesday slate. 14 games across the NBA tonight. I like the under for the Magic and Bucks tonight. That second go-round in the quote-unquote baseball series, usually more low-scoring. The Oklahoma City Thunder laying the points on them against the Phoenix Suns tonight. More and more, all found over on Hard Rock Bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Hey, it's the Bulldog, Mike Bianchi. Let's start February strong in a brand new Chevy from Don Mealy Chevrolet, your truck headquarters for 50 years. Right now, get 3.9% APR for 60 months on a 2026 Chevy Silverado or up to $5,000 in bonus cash. Looking for something the whole family will love? How about a 2026 Chevy Equinox with 3.9% APR for 60 months and no payments for 90 days? Visit Don Mealy Chevrolet today or shop anytime at DonMealyChevy.com. Chevy, together let's drive.
If you want your windows there and we pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Protect your home with factory direct impact windows from Reese Windows and Doors. At Reese, they've been installing affordable high-quality windows for over 50 years, and most windows are installed in under 8 weeks. Get out your phone because now is your chance to win them for free. Just text the word TRUST to 20129 to win $25,000 in new windows from Reese Windows and Doors. Text TRUST to 20129 and good luck from Reese Windows and Doors.
When you're injured in a car accident and the insurance company denies your medical bills, denies to pay your lost wages, and won't repair your car, it's time to fight back. Time to call Farah and Farah at 800-500-5555. Orlando.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth, LLC, a SEC-registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
The City Beautiful now has a new team that we can all rally behind. The MLV champs, the Orlando Valkyries. Fast, loud, flying above the net, nonstop entertainment. Professional women's volleyball is one of the best live sports out there, and we've got a game head section that you can be a part of. Just email me, Kravitz at 969thegame.com. Bring your friends, bring the family, bring the noise, and head coach Amy Pauley will bring the dubs. It's the Valkyries, Orlando's pro volleyball team, right here in our backyard.
Think switching to T-Mobile is a whole complicated thing? Nah, it's easy. You can do it almost anywhere in just 15 minutes.
Even poolside like Drewski, you can switch to T-Mobile and unlock savings that are built to last. With T-Mobile's Better Value Plan, you can save over $1,000 a year versus Verizon and AT&T. Save on streaming, satellite, and more benefits that they leave out.
I get all the VIP perks.
Start saving from day one, and for a limited time, get T-Mobile's Better Value Plan.
I know you love deals.
Plus, switch right now, and we'll even pay off your old phone up to $800. What do you think of all that, Drewski?
Stay chillin', just switch. It's better over here.
Check now at T-Mobile.com/better value. Savings versus comparable plans at AT&T and Verizon, plus the cost of optional benefits. Plan features and taxes and fees vary. The 3+ lines of Better Value Plan. 3+ new lines and 2 eligible ports, or 3+ lines and 5+ years on T-Mobile postpaid plan required. Qualifying credit required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Get up to $800 per line via virtual prepaid card. Typically take 15 days after rebate submission. Qualify unlocked device credit service ported 90+ days with device and eligible carrier, and timely redemption required. No cash access and card expires in 6 months. Card issued by Sunrise Banks N.A. member FDIC.
DQ presents The Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ soft serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into soft serve. Plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
I've been telling you guys about Kevin Krager with LPT Realty, one of the top 25 producing agents in Central Florida. My guy is money, and he joins me now to chat about the latest in real estate. What's the one piece of advice that you would give to first-time home buyers?
Interview agents and ask important questions. Ask what's important to that agent. Make sure that agent is listening to you and understands what it is that you need when you're buying a house. There's hundreds of thousands of agents across this country, and a lot of people can buy and sell real estate, but to protect what you're doing, you need to make sure that agent is really connecting with you, really listening to you, and has your best interest at heart. It's not just a paycheck for me. It's not just a paycheck for a lot of agents, but I want a long-lasting relationship. I'm going to give loyalty to you. And then I also would say, as a home buyer, giving loyalty back to that agent, because at some point you're going to want to sell that house.
Trust and loyalty. You can count on Kevin for that. He'll move you right along through the real estate buying and selling process. 407-702-4635.
The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help you troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and help you save time and money down the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
The Magical host Milwaukee tonight. It's their final game before the NBA All-Star break. Orlando beat the Bucks on Monday for their third straight win. Florida men's basketball, they're back in action tonight. They're going for a fourth straight win at Georgia, while Stetson, they'll entertain Jacksonville. And American snowboarder Chloe Kim is positioned for Olympic gold in the women's halfpipe after a nearly flawless first run today in Italy. I'm Scott Davidson.
This is three-time Pro Bowler Sean Merriman. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Rasmussen University.
Rasmussen University is where passion meets education, offering over 60 career-focused programs ranging from nursing and early childhood education to business and IT. Whether you're starting fresh or leveling up, there's a path here built for your goals. Learn more at rasmussen.edu.
Saturday, spend part of your Valentine's Day with the Knights as UCF hoops on the game versus West Virginia. Tip time is 6 p.m. Hear every minute on your exclusive home for UCF Sports. FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the absolutely free iHeart Radio app.
There's never a dull moment in sports. We could talk about NASCAR, college hoops,
Socks for the win!
maybe even a little table tennis.
Guy high the drop.
Find out what's next on Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
We have a special guest in studio, all part of our What's Next series. And what's next? We got a big time match coming to Camping World Stadium on the international stage. We also have an Orlando City season and an MLS season to get going here in 10 days. And we've got a former midfielder in studio with us right now, one of the absolute best, one of our favorites, Jamie Watson. Jamie, what brings you by? I got a scarf on now all of a sudden. The day comes at you quick.
Brandon, as much as things change, they stay the same because you are synonymous with covering the beautiful game here and the city beautiful. I'm so happy to be back talking with you, just like I was when I was playing here with Orlando City. And today, yes, we did have to come with a gift. So you're wearing a Croatia scarf. I am wearing a Brazil scarf. We have a Colombia jersey in the building as well today because we have the Road to 26 that is coming to Camping World Stadium. You talked about an important big-time matchup, but what's better than one important big-time matchup? Two important big-time matchups. So first off, on March 26th, we have Colombia and we have Croatia. And then on March 31st, we have Brazil versus Croatia. We've got basically three teams within the top 14 in the world, all getting ready to lead up to the FIFA Men's World Cup this summer. This is the last stop, the last time they'll get together. Coaches are done tinkering with their groups. This is the one they're going to get together with everybody because the next time they get together after this will be on the biggest stage the world has ever seen. And we have two big matchups coming to Camping World Stadium.
Hard to believe that we are a few months away from the World Cup starting, and this is a really good teaser to that we have in our backyard, March 26th. Usually this is around the time when I would tell people to go, how you can go and find your tickets, which is roadto26.com. But I don't think that's going to be an issue. Ticket sales,
right? You better.
I'm
get
more
there
worried about
quickly.
the resale market. It's going to be a hot ticket, right?
You're not wrong, because what you're talking about is Colombia. They got to the Copa America final in 2024 down in Miami. They came in second, lost heartbreakingly to Argentina. But you got players like James Rodriguez, Luis Diaz. They're some of the biggest global icons in world soccer, taking on Croatia with Luis Diaz will be taking on the likes of Croatia with Marko Pasalic, who's an Orlando City player playing for Croatia as well here in his hometown. That'll be ridiculous to see. You've got Luka Modric as well. He is a former Ballon d'Or World Player of the Year, some of the best that have ever done it. And then in that second matchup, you bring Brazil. So there's so many players. Marquinhos is the captain, but you've got Neymar, Vini Jr., and they'll be taking on Croatia in that second matchup on the 31st. So you've got two chances to see some icons of the global game right here in our backyard. Camping World Stadium, road to26.com is how you get there. I'll be there. I've got tickets for you, so you better be there. Bianchi better be there as well. And
you hear that, Mikey?
There we go, man. I'm so excited to get the band back together like we did the old days, but we'll just be doing it with some of the biggest teams in the world.
How fondly do you look back on your USL Pro days?
It's some of the best memories, man. I met my wife here, which has led to us being married and having 3 beautiful children. This is like a home for us. My wife's family's here. Every time I get a chance to come back here, I'm just happier. The sun shines a little bit brighter here. And I think some of the biggest teams in the world have figured out, because like last summer, you had the FIFA Club World Cup that was here. You've had Manchester City. You've had Real Madrid. You've had some of the biggest club teams in the world. But now we're getting some of the biggest national teams here. And man, it's an incredible time to be a soccer fan with 2 seasons looming, Orlando City and Orlando Pride, but some of the biggest international matchups right here in our backyard. I'm so excited about it, if you couldn't tell, Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, you exude the excitement. We love it. I would imagine anybody that's listening can feel the passion through their speakers right now, and that's why we love bringing you on over the years. Jamie Watson, who is an OG for Orlando City, also MLS match analyst. So since I've got you here, let's talk about Orlando City. What do you expect from the club this year? Is this the year where they can finally break through?
I will say, since the Wolf ownership has taken over Orlando City, it does feel like every year there is an expectation of competing for a trophy. And at the MLS level, they were able to finally get there over that hurdle to win the Open Cup just a few years back. But yeah, last year, we're at the point now when Orlando City are making the playoffs, but getting in 8th place like they did last year. It kind of feels like, man, this is a group that should be expecting more, right? They should be expecting a home playoff game, that top 4 finish in the Eastern Conference. They should be expecting to try to compete for trophies, and every time they enter a competition. I love this group. They're so exciting. Martin Ojeda as well. Now they've changed the goalkeeper, right? Pedro Galese not here for the first time, and as long as I can remember. So it'll be interesting to see how the group is going to adapt, but Oscar Pareja has been just this steady figure, and it starts from the Wolf family taking over all the way down to the last player on the roster that'll make it as we get ready to set those final rosters. And we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the Orlando Pride, how good they have been. Barbara Banda, she is electric. You've got Marta as well. Seb Hines, the coach, has done an incredible job of turning that club around to where every time they step on the field, they feel like they should win. And they've got to try to take down KC Current, who are generally the top team in NWSL every year, although Gotham won for the second time in the last 3 years. So it's exciting times right now for those matchups domestically and the club scene, but internationally, some big matches. Man, I don't have to tell the listeners right now. They're hearing all of this, and it's like you've got so much world-class action right at your fingertips. And it'll be just a couple of weeks before I'm back here getting ready to watch those international matchups on March 26th and March 31st.
Well, you know where to find us, so I expect a visit for that. And
can we do this again here, and then can we go to the actual stadium? We go with me to Camping World Stadium and watch one of those 2 games, if not both?
Yes. I was I did a whole series with Orlando City during their run through the U.S. Open Cup, where we became the Open Cup boys, and I was out there every match. Fell in love with that tournament, and I'm just a sucker for a tournament.
It's crazy because we could make a team, qualify for that Open Cup through the state level and all that stuff, and as crazy as it sounds, we could then work our way if we win enough games to compete. That's what the beauty of the Open Cup is. Anybody can put
You're not
a
asking
team
me
together.
to play soccer, are you?
I'm saying I need you to be our star forward. I need you to score about 30 goals. You put that Croatia scarf on your shoulders, and you just look
feel
like a
the
goal
talent
scorer.
level may have kicked up a notch.
Where are we
there.
putting Bianchi though on the field? There's a caution in that hesitation of what you were going to say here.
Bianchi would tell you that he is faster than me. We have raced in the parking lot. I may have pulled a hamstring. I'm really not your best guy for this, but I would probably you can't put him in goal because the arms are too short, but we'll definitely find a spot for Bianchi. As far as the competition inside of MLS, Inter Miami won a championship last year. Is this, I mean, I know that with Messi there, it's tough to compete. They're spending a lot on that roster, and whether they're doing that through the rules or not, I guess is up for debate. But is this a dynastic run? Are we expecting multiple championships from them, or are they beatable?
Look, Inter Miami's shown ambition, and I know nobody here in Central Florida who are diehard purple will want me to say that, but they are showing ambition. Now, Orlando City, they've had some good success against Inter Miami. I commentated for Orlando City Radio with Evan Weston last year when Orlando City won convincingly in Miami 3-0, and there's always this heated rivalry over the state of Florida. I love it when they meet. Inter Miami are the team that everyone's chasing after right now. They're showing a lot of ambition, getting some big players. I just brought in a player, Bertarame from Cont'd, so he'll be a big addition up front. They're bringing back, obviously, Lionel Messi. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He is... Every time he touches the ball, it's electric, and still, he is whoever your favorite player is. He's your favorite player's favorite player. I mean, he's that big of a deal, and to get to see him play is remarkable. But Inter Miami right now is who everybody's chasing in Major League Soccer, and wouldn't it feel good for Orlando City if they were the ones to be able to knock Inter Miami off the throne?
I imagine you called the Messi match at some point last year.
Several of them, yeah.
Was that a pinch yourself moment?
Yeah, when he makes a bad pass, who am I to be like, well, it's not good enough from Lionel Messi, right? I'll have a little bit of that
fanboy though on the broadcast.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously have to take the fan hat off. I had to do it. Obviously, when I was commentating on Orlando City, you've got to be unbiased or fans won't listen to you. But there will be an element of that every time you do some of these big games. I mean, when I'm commentating on Croatia and Colombia or Brazil versus Croatia, yeah, like if Neymar misses a sitter and I've got to say from that distance he would expect himself to score from there, it's got to be better from Neymar in that moment. There might be a moment where I kind of have a little cheeky look to my commentator like, yeah, I mean, that's Neymar. Who am I to make fun of him for, But he's done once or twice in front of goal where he scored that. But yeah, you have to, because you know how it is when you cover sports. If the second you are too much of a fan, then everyone's going to go, well, how can we listen to you, have your credibility? So I'll try to keep the impartiality for Orlando City, for Messi, for Brazil and Croatia and Colombia. But yeah, it'll be a special night to be in Camping World Stadium in late March for those two matchups. And road to26.com is how you join us in the building that night.
That is correct. 7:30 p.m. on March 26th, I guess. I didn't know I was going to have to choose a side today, but I guess I'm Team Croatia, as it would turn out if you're watching on the stream. Croatia versus Brazil on March 31st as well at 8 p.m. over at road to26.com. Jamie Watson, MLS and soccer aficionado, broadcaster, former Orlando City pro. We appreciate you stopping by. Thank you.
You know I'm such a big fan of yours, Brandon. Thank you so much. It's been great to be your friend all these years, to get to watch your success with Bianchi, man. Just keep going, because you are the trendsetter. Everything I learned in broadcasting, I have stolen from true professionals like yourself and from Bianchi, so thank you for that.
Well, I am humbled. Thank you very much. Bianchi is probably shaking his head right now listening, going, God, that ego can't get any bigger. What is he doing? Up next, your text, your talkbacks. We're the show of the people. We want to hear from you, Gameheads. Text in 50857. We're back with that after this.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
This is your Tools Ace hardware assist of the night. How good can this Magic team be? Well, with a little help from the right people, the sky is the limit for Paolo and company.
Now Paolo on the run out. He'll lay it up and in and one.
If you're gearing up for game day, Tools Ace is your MVP for grilling greatness. From Big Green Egg to Traeger, they've got everything you need to fire up the flavor. With 14 Central Florida locations, including their brand new store in Windermere, Tools Ace is your neighborhood home maintenance expert, the helpful place every night and your best stop before the game. ToolsAceHardware.com. And go Magic.
But left wing, 3-ball up, that's it. That ball's snapping around. This team is hard to beat.
All right, guys, let's be honest. Football season hits, and between the wings, the pizza, and a few too many beers, that jersey starts fitting a little bit tighter. Then you swear you'll drop the weight, but no matter what diet you try, nothing sticks. That's why I want to tell you about Florida Center for Hormones and Wellness. These folks are Central Florida's leaders in medical weight loss. This isn't some fad diet or magic powder. It's a doctor-supervised program that combines hormone optimization, nutrition coaching, and yes, those new injectable weight loss medications everyone's talking about. They customize it all for you, and the results are fast. Most guys lose 20 pounds or more in just 6 to 10 weeks, safely. You'll have more energy, better sleep, and honestly, you'll just feel good again. It's time for you to make your fourth quarter comeback. Go to hormonesandwellness.com/bulldog and tell them Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog, sent you. That's hormonesandwellness.com/bulldog.
Fix update.
Americans Jordan Stoltz and 2 others are competing in the men's 1,000-meter speed skating final today. Stoltz says he's proud to represent the U.S.
We do pretty well in, so I think we should take some pride in trying to do our best, and of course for all the other athletes around the world.
Snowboarding resumes with the men's and women's half-pipe qualifiers. American Chloe Kim has begun her bid to become the first snowboarder to win 3 straight golds.
For NBC's live coverage from Italy, search Olympics on the free iHeart Radio app.
Road Rangers on the scene of an accident, I-4 eastbound at the beach line. The right shoulder there is blocked. Stop and go on I-4 westbound between the beach line and 535. Florida's Turnpike southbound between 417 and Osceola Parkway is a slow ride as well. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Katie Wilkins.
This report is sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
Host an event they'll never forget at Crush Yard. Designed for group gatherings of all kinds, Crush Yard makes it easy to bring people together for team events, birthday parties, and milestone celebrations. With pickleball courts, great food and drinks, and flexible space to play or relax, everything comes together in one place. We handle the details so you can focus on your guests and enjoy the moment. It's an interactive, high-energy experience everyone will remember. Learn more at CrushYard.com.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you want your windows there and we pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Protect your home with Factory Direct Impact Windows from Reese Windows and Doors. At Reese, they've been installing affordable, high-quality windows for over 50 years, and most windows are installed in under 8 weeks. Get out your phone because now is your chance to win them for free. Just text the word TRUST to 20129 to win $25,000 in new windows from Reese Windows and Doors. Text TRUST to 20129 and good luck from Reese Windows and Doors.
Night of Champions 14 live boxing returns to Caribe Royale Orlando on Friday, February 20th. Records and titles are on the line. Undefeated Alex Bray takes on Rodrigo Damian Correa for the WBA Continental Latin American title. Undefeated Daniel Perro defends his title against David Hainsworth. And undefeated Gabriela Tellez takes on Calista Silgado for the WBA Female Continental Americas title. Plus a deep undercard featuring undefeated prospects and pro debuts. Tickets available at Ticketmaster or at CaribeRoyale.com/boxing.
How do we respond to lowball offers from insurance companies?
With relentless litigation. For the justice you're entitled to after an accident, you know who to call.
Make it a FARA fight. Fair and FARA.
Orlando.
The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help you troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and help you save time and money down the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Facebook at 96.9 The Game. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Sports lives on the iHeart Radio app, the official audio home of NBC's coverage of the Milan Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics. Fox Sports Radio, ESPN, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, and iHeart is the home of the NFL Podcast Network. Just search sports on the free iHeart Radio app and listen now.
And the winner of the iHeart Podcast Award is...
You can decide who takes home the 2026 iHeart Podcast Awards Podcast of the Year by voting at iHeartPodcastAwards.com now through February 22nd. See all the nominees and place your vote at iHeartPodcastawards.com.
Audible is a proud sponsor of the Audible Audio Pioneer Award. Explore the best selection of audiobooks, podcasts, and originals all in one easy app. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
Everyone has a community to lean on. A neighborhood, school, kids' teams, where you worship, work out, or any other place or group where you choose to belong. Communities can provide support when you need it, and even when you don't know you do. Like when it comes to preventing underage drinking and other substance use. You've talked with your kids and shared clear expectations, but you're not with them every minute. Your community members, friends and relatives, teachers and coaches, faith leaders, and other important adults in your kids' lives can be your eyes, ears, and a supportive influence when you're not around, reinforcing your messages with your kids and alerting you to warning signs of underage drinking or other substance use. So talk with your kids about these issues and involve the members of your community to help keep your kids safe. Because when you talk, they hear you.
WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2, Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
This is Brian Urlacher.
Urlacher to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, touchdown! Touchdown Bears!
You're listening to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
All right, game heads, we want to hear from you. 50857 is how you can reach us on the text line. Also, enter the rage cage. You got any rages out there, Jaden? The rages have gone cold. Cold as ice.
I guess nobody wants those Daytona 500 tickets courtesy of Don Mealy Chevrolet. We have a pair we're giving away. You need to get in that rage cage and rage about something, or get on the text line or tell us what's the text question?
What is the most daring thing that you've ever done?
Yeah, most daring thing you've ever done.
We do have some texts on that, by the way. Skydiving with my buddies for my 30th birthday. Ooh. Terrifying. Would 100% do it again. Somebody said talking back to my mom. Somebody said I've jumped those cliffs, the ones that I was talking about at Rick's Cafe in Jamaica. They said they jumped them many times. And thankfully nobody made fun of me too much for
from 12 feet up.
My terrifying 30-foot jump. How about Jamie Watson, by the way? Says that he learned everything he knows through me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure he says that to all the radio hosts.
He charmed me, Mike. I'm charmed. I love him. I think we're best friends.
You want to know the most daring thing I've ever done?
Yes.
I'm not very daring, okay? But as a kid, into my teenage years, I was a great water skier. I grew up on a lake, so I was a great water skier. But one thing I always wanted to do was barefoot ski, okay? And to barefoot ski, at least the way I was told you had to do it was, if you're skiing on one ski, all right, you have to essentially drop that. The boat speeds up really fast, and you have to drop that ski and dig your heels in and barefoot ski, okay? Well, so I've got my one ski on, skiing along, and I tell the driver of the boat, my stepdad, speed it up. I'm ready to try it.
So he speeds it up to like 40 miles an hour. All right. I stepped out of the ski, Kravitz. Oh, my God. Face first at 40 miles per hour into the water, knocked the breath out of me. Just.
Did you think you were going to drown in that moment?
Yeah. Yes, I did. I didn't think I was going to be able to catch my breath. And yeah, it was. And that was the last time I tried to barefoot water ski. I said, you know what? I like skiing on one ski.
It looks so easy when other people do it. I'm surprised that it sounds like you're as clumsy as I am. Coming up, we have a midweek mic'd up on the way. We are going to hear from the movers and shakers across the sports world. You can continue to text in, by the way, 50857. Also on the iHeart Radio Talkback. Bet It or Forget It coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. This story about Bill Moose not wanting Scott Frost at Nebraska. Revisionist history. We'll get to all of that coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. Don't go anywhere. We're going to dip over to Fox Sports. Quick 60-second update for you.